Well, good morning, everybody. It is a balmy 49 degrees out in sunny Florida today. And as you can see, all of the plants are alive, and that is because we brought most of them inside for the 3-night freeze that we had recently. It was a nasty, nasty freeze. I did lose some poor tomato plants because I brought them in. They were seedlings, and of course I brought them in. They were portable, and I had them in the first night that was supposed to go down really, really low, which was the night before Christmas Eve. And I brought them all in, and then on Christmas Eve itself I went ahead and put them outside for some sun, where I promptly forgot about them, the poor babies, and they stayed out overnight during the hardest part of the freeze, which the minute I got up on Christmas morning and looked out there, I was crushed because I did lose a bunch of them, and the ones I didn't lose, I went ahead and planted in this bed here. I left them in the little nursery for a while. So we've got 3 healthy plants, and out of 6, that's not too bad. And I went ahead and I planted the ones that were really struggling, but I don't have high hopes for that one. It's right here. And then I have another one right here that I had to take all the leaves off because they were frozen. Yeah, I'm heartsick about it. But we do have 3 very healthy plants. They are now in the ground in a healthy bed of hay for mulch. So as soon as I get the other seedlings up, I'll plant those in here as well. Or I might just plant some pest defying flowers or something, because these babies are pretty vulnerable in this bed. This bed gets all the garbage from this tree, but it's nice because it does get some really good direct sunlight once the sun hits it, but not so much that they'll fry once the temperatures get hotter. So, which is going to happen pretty quickly. This is Florida after all. This bed is still just laying here waiting. So, really not sure. However, I do have some good news. I was able to get one of those sweet potatoes that I was talking about in a former video. And this is very, very sweet. It's really purple inside. It's gorgeous. So I am going to, after I transplant this baby here, I'm going to put them in here. Just bury them halfway. Put some cling film over it, and just wait for it to start sprouting. Once it sprouts, you take those sprouts and, you know, they have little nodes on them with tiny roots starting, and you can either put them straight into the ground, or you can put them in some water and get, you know, the roots a little bit started for yourself. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to experiment and do a combination of both. Rosebush is doing better. This guy, he's a monster. He's all over the place. All right, so, you know, the poor tomatoes, I'm just upset about that. This did not do so well either. I did bring it in, but not the first night. So I may have to snip off. Yeah, some of these leaves are just falling right off. I'm just so upset about that. I was so proud of this plant. It's a thyme plant, and thyme is usually one of the wimpiest plants in the world. So, I mean, I just kill them almost immediately, usually. Well, let's get all the dead leaves off, and hopefully it'll come back. I love it. So sad. I can't believe that it froze so viciously this year. 3 nights in a row. That's crazy. So that's a first for us. So this thing, this is a closet accessory, and we didn't use it in our closets, so I thought, you know, this would be great for hanging plants on and things like that. So we brought it in, and I dug up a few of these garden blocks and put them for a much steadier and sturdier foundation for this thing, so it's not leaning all over the place anymore, and it's not sinking into the ground, so this is good. And it's got a little storage for underneath, and you know, it looks much better when it's not leaning all wonkily across the yard. So I did bring these up, and I've been repurposing these red lava rocks from the front of the house. So let's take a look at that, because I was able to finish that the day after Christmas, and oh my goodness, I was so sore the next day. It was crazy. I could barely move. But I'm moving now. So the hard work was definitely worth it. There we go. Yeah, we got our spider plant. We have this thing that I picked this up at my friend's house yesterday, so I'm really excited to try and repot that. It was a mess. It was dying. So I said, oh, I'll take it. And we'll see. So I was able to get these cute little lights. I wasn't able to. My daughter bought them for us for Christmas. And they are adorable, especially at night. But you could see all of the rocks are being used here. Sorry about my shadow, guys. And you know what? I used a very state-of-the-art tool to strain out all of my rocks. I used this table that we have not redone yet, which we are going to redo because it's still in great shape. But that is the perfect straining table for rocks. So I would just take a pot full of rocks, dump it on top, move it back and forth, and all the dirt would fall through and the rocks would be nice and clean on top. So I was able to throw those in one container and put the dirt back into the beds where it belongs. Where then I planted some of these guys, you know, just random plants. Now, it kills me to say that this was the easy part, because this part took 3 days and it was backbreaking work. Now I need to tackle this part of the yard, all the rocks. So many rocks. Look at that. God. Ew, piece of plastic. We don't like plastic in the yard. Plastic just blows into the yard from all over, and you never know when you're gonna dig up some nasty plastic. So, oh, she's got some really beautiful poinsettias over there. Looks like they might have gotten bitten by the cold too. Aw. I'm gonna have to start taking care of my neighbor's plants as well as mine. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. She's a very hardworking nurse, and there we go. All right, now let's see what else, because boy, that 3-day winter, I mean, we were all in double socks, double sweaters, double jackets. We were freezing. I was wearing gardening gloves all the time, even though I wasn't gardening every minute, but I was freezing. So yeah, we do not have the winter clothes that our northern counterparts have. And truthfully, I haven't layered so many clothing in a very long time. Now this gorgeous thing here was a Christmas gift from my daughters, and I could not be more excited about it. This will definitely help me in the front of the house when I tackle that big bed with the rocks. And I am so excited to get started. So as you can see, the back porch looks a little bit different. I put some things away in different places. There was a wooden plant stand there, which I now moved over to here. It's a little more stable up against the house, and you know, still get some sun for the sun-loving plants. And you know, the backyard has to be functional, you know, for me, for gardening. So I have these totes around with different tools and things like that, just because I don't want it scattered around all over the place in the front yard. And look at that, my little wind chime is going crazy. Look at that. So yes, so the tomatoes did not do well, being left outside, neglected by their mother. Yeah, I guess I had a couple too many cups of good cheer Christmas Eve. I had a couple of glasses of wine and I got a little tipsy, which I don't normally drink, and I just was in the mood for 2 glasses of wine that night. I might have had 3, you guys. Yeah, it was more like 3. But still, it was Christmas Eve, but then I forgot about my babies. I feel awful. I do. I feel terrible. You should have seen me the next morning. I almost cried. I'll learn. I will learn that gardening does not recognize seasons or special occasions, and that I have to be vigilant. Oh no, what's this thing? This thing got broken. All right, so we've got all of our babies. They're all looking good. They really are. I'm pretty proud of the way that they stood up to old man winter and survived. We survived the 3-day freeze. You know, for Floridians, it's pretty good. So for now, I'm gonna say bye. I apologize for sniffling. It is still pretty brisk out here. And whenever I'm out in the chilly air, my nose runs. So, my apologies. Right. It does look pretty nice, I have to say. I'm pretty excited. I was very excited for the chance to thoroughly clean up the porch, and there was dirt and leaves and dust and gunk everywhere. So like that. That's my little compost pot that I usually leave in the kitchen. We just don't have room for it in the kitchen right now. Too many other things going on. This guy did pretty well. He's got some little hangy parts here. And this guy, look at all these new leaves. Look at how beautiful this looks. I just can't get over it. And then we have this one over here. This is my daughter's. I did get a cute little Christmas gnome, so I very proudly put him in here. But he's tipping, so we're gonna have to stand him up a little bit better. There we go. Right, we still have this guy. He's still doing okay. Still got some shine on the leaves. So who knows? Maybe it's already started rooting. Okay. I put this guy at the very tippy top because he requires the least amount of water, and anything else I put up there tends to die off because of lack of water. Just so happy with all the plants right now. All right. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm gonna get started. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I got a garden weasel from my daughter and her boyfriend for Christmas, and I can't wait to start using it. Put it together the night before last, and I'm very excited. Basically, the theme of Christmas this year for me was gardening stuff. So I'm pretty happy about that. Can't wait. I'm raring to go. Can't wait to get planting. Every time I come out here, it just makes me so happy. Because it's been a lot of work, but it was so worth it. Because look how beautiful it looks. All right, guys. Have a happy Thursday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.